race. Is that a thing? Are Jewish people white? But Jewish people control Hollywood, right? Am I even allowed to say Jew?
As ceasefire talks heat up in the Israel-Hamas war and protests rage on college campuses, our next guests are combining their talents to combat anti-Semitism.
Yeah, the book is called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew. It's co-authored by Emmanuel Acho, former NFL linebacker and host of the Uncomfortable Conversations series, and Noah Tishby, Israel's former special envoy combating anti-Semitism.
Emmanuel Acho and Noah Tishby, they're here in studio. We're honored to have you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
Such a serious conversation. We're going to start, though, with what's going on just around the country, but not far from us at UCLA, USC, the protests. What do you make of them?
Well, what I make of them is three things. So, number one, they're not peaceful, which I think is obvious for anybody who's watching. Number two, they're not grassroots. They're very well organized, planned, and coordinated, as seen by the similar tents. There is a lot of written material that is very clearly organized by outside forces and people that are not supposed to be on campuses. And lastly, it's not true. So the entire premise of these demonstrations, as much as all of us support free speech, the premise is wrong to begin with. They literally think that Israel's committing a genocide, which I can't even begin to explain how untrue that is. So it's very unfortunate that this is happening, and hopefully it'll calm down.
Emmanuel, after this long conversation you continue to have with Noah, does your take on those protests, is it different than maybe it would have been a year ago?
I think it's expanded. I think a large part of the tension currently in society and on campuses, there's a lack of education. And because of a lack of education, there's a lack of empathy. I don't think you can be empathetic towards something that you don't know. Proximity, it breeds care. Distance, it breeds fear. And because groups are not proximal enough to one another, because people that don't look like each other don't spend enough time talking to one another, then there's fear. And because of the fear, then you have the tension and you have the different explosions, both literally and figuratively, which is one why we wanted to pen the book, but also why I encourage people, get out of your comfort zone and talk to somebody who doesn't necessarily look like you or believe what you believe.
That's where the magic happens, outside your comfort zone. So that's exactly what you did, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew. What's the takeaway? What's the biggest thing that you learned in having these uncomfortable conversations with Noah?
Biggest thing I learned was that generational trauma historically has led to so much of the pain in present day. One of the biggest conversations Noah and I had was, well, let's talk about Jewish people in power, because in the book we go there. I said, Noah, when I was drafted to the Cleveland Browns, my owner was a Jewish man. I was traded, Alex, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Owner was a Jewish man. Marla, my first agent when I left the NFL, was a Jewish woman. My next agent was a Jewish woman. How is it anti-Semitic if I talk about Jewish people being in power? And there's so much tension woven into the fabric of the book, to which, Noah, I'll let you respond now to some degree what you responded in the book.
Just so we're clear, we're having every single conversation. I know you're like, oh my God, did you actually talk about that? Yes, we did. So to Emmanuel conversation, there's nothing wrong with saying that a lot of Jewish people are represented in positions of power, that in his life he has a lot of people that are influential in his life. Where you kind of move into the anti-Semitic zone is where you start talking about control. And when you attribute to the Jewish community kind of like mythological power that sadly we don't have. I mean, I'm still looking for the cabal, but we can't find it. And that's where, to your point, the conversation is what needs to be had right now, and nobody is having these conversations, which is why we are. And just so we're clear, Emmanuel came up to me year and a half before October 7th, before the current cultural moment, before everything that's happening on our campuses right now, before anything that went down, and he noticed the rise in anti-Semitism. He felt something was off, and he wanted to write this book together, saying, I wanted your community to know that relief is on the way. He is one of the most curious people in the world, and he just deserves all the praise for doing that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm a Jew, and Marla's not, and it prompted us to have
I just love that you said I'm a Jew. By the way, I'm a Jew.
Well, that was part of what we just talked about.
I said to Alex, is it okay if I say Jew and me not being Jewish?
Can I bring that up for a moment?
Yes.
I did not want to call the book Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew. I did not want to.
No.
I wanted to call the book Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jewish person, because I didn't feel comfortable saying the word Jew.
And I said to that, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, that's not, we're tiptoeing around it. Oh, a Jewish person. I'm like, no. What's wrong with saying a Jew? I'm a Jew and I'm proud. It's what happened was that it was attributed like all these like bad connotations.
It became
throughout the years.
derogatory.
It became derogatory, exactly. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with saying a Jew. And Emmanuel immediately was like, all right, let's go there, because it's very controversial and kind of like weird to say it. And the name of the book is Uncomfortable Conversations.
So even from the title page, you're learning. It really was a beautiful experience to write, and hopefully those read.
Well, it's a fantastic book. Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew by Emmanuel Acho and Noah Tishby is available now wherever books are sold. You guys are coming back for our political show, The Issue Is. We're going to be able to dive a little deeper into some of these issues, so we'll see you Friday at 10:30 for that, which we're looking forward to.
I found that to be very comfortable.
Awesome. There is nothing that you can't talk about when there's love and authenticity and openness.
Well
Talk
said.
about everything.
Great to end on that. We'll be right back.